Hi everybody, I'm Jerome right here again, and you're with me on my Jeronification YouTube channel. Um, I'm here again, I'm here with the Mayan calendar, or so-called Mayan calendar, and I've done a video in the past with dealing with the um, Mayans, inscriptions on stones, and specifically I believe I did the video on Lord Pacal's tomb lid, and in that video I disclosed how um, inscriptions on a Lord Pacal tomb lid could be found in reference to that of symbolizations and that was used with ancient creations and symbolic meanings with that of Jesus and Christianity. And I was showing you likenesses in that video, which you can actually see. With the calendar, this is my position that these symbolic meanings and symbols reference first and foremost that of mankind creations, his origins, and genetic manipulations and bridgings which occurred throughout our ancient ancestral history. And these recordings are global and can be read if you look at them for what they are. We look at these as calendars, as visitations and a higher knowledge and from visitations given to these people, when in reality what meant most to these people were who they were, where they came from, and where they were going, and then compiled with the higher knowledge of how they can genetically alter themselves. And then this is what takes this and put this in a whole nother meaning and perspective. Now, I want to show you something about this, and this is allegedly or reportedly through scholars and experts as being a calendar, and they give you all of these different types of measurements and time and all of that there. I mean, yeah, okay, there's measurements in time here. I can agree with that. But through my paranormal experience and encounter and everything that I have found tells me that the only thing that's being measured here is that of what is happening genetically with the Mayan people and how they genetically altered themselves and where they came from and where they're going. And how you can always see that this is what this is referencing is you see these reptiles equated with other creatures and these genetic bridgings. Now, in this case, what you don't see, or maybe you do see, I don't know, I would like to think that it was never discovered before, is here. There's a microorganism, or organism, and I equate that with being the same thing that is on the Dropa stones, which are here. And in my last video, I actually even gave them some faces, because if you look closely, wherever there's a reference of that of how mankind came into existence, there are multi-dimensional images. And I gave you in my last video how there's the Medusa-looking woman that's actually encrypted in these, and what I would like to call these is seeds of life, eggs, microorganisms with faces. I mean, it shows you a genetic trail from which these beings actually evolved. And normally what happens is there's the presence of the dinosaur and that of the snake, which in all cases tells us that we evolved from these creatures, which were reptiles. Now, let me go right into this here. There's microorganism right here showing you that it was divided, split genetically split. This, and there's two directions. At the tails, there's two tails. There's a tail here, and there's a tail there. What do these tails go to? Here's the body, follow the body around, follow the body around, follow the body around, and there is a serpent. The serpent has its mouth open, right there. And in the serpent's open mouth, there is a woman, a witch-like woman, I dub as the mother of creation in Christianity, Madonna, and all of these other, globally, I think in China, Cambodia, whatever, they call her the snake woman or the snake goddess and all of that stuff there. If you know who this woman is, then you'll understand her evolutionary contribution to how mankind was created. There's her eye. This is her forehead. She's in the mouth of this serpent creature. See that? See the mouth open of the serpent creature? And there's the witch-like woman. Now, that's one. Two snakes. So, where's the other one? There's the tail, the point of the tail. The body comes around. And we have the same thing. The serpent's mouth. There's this eye of the serpent there. There's the jawline. That's the split in the mouth where the jaw is, right there. The mouth is open. And then there's that witch-like woman there again in the mouth. Now, let's discuss these triangles. There's one there, there, and they're different. They're variations. It shows you the bridgings, and and these genetics turn back in. Each triangle is basically different. If you notice that through the bridgings, these triangles come and they're different. They swing back over and curl back around. There's a meaning behind that as well too. It shows you the levels of genetic bridgings, what was left behind, and actually what continued on. Okay? It's showing you the creation of genetics. Now, where can this be seen at again? Well, ancient alien theorists has you believing that this is Lord Pacal sitting in a spaceship device. In my last video, I showed you that this is a cross, and at the top of the cross is a bird, and it shows you a genetic splicing of this bird genes, and it shows you two paths. What is this bird being genetically spliced with? It shows you. Here's the cross. Lord Pacal, the bird, and this symbol right here being crossed over the cross. Look at both. Here's the cross going across here. Now, what is being crossed over? Look at this. Look at this here. It shows you the serpent. Where do you see the serpent? Well, it's just identical to what's on the calendar. Here's the serpent's head. The serpent's mouth is open. And the witch-like woman. Let me see if I can get in closer so you can see her face. Let me come in closer. The woman's face is in right here. The open mouth. This is the open mouth. This is the bottom lip area. This is the top lip area of that same serpent snaking over, and the face is right here. And then on the opposite side, I think I'm in too close, people, but you can Google the image and verify what I'm actually saying. And the other head of the serpent is here, two-headed serpent, mouth open, and the witch-like woman is right there in the face, in the mouth of this creature, open mouth creature. Now, her likenesses are different. They're similar, but they're different, showing you that there was two genes from which this woman evolved. Two evolutionary paths. Now, as it is shown here, if you look at her faces and her likenesses on both of these images, they're different. They're the same, but they're different. It's describing two genes. Now, I want to show you something else. As you see, so what's being bridged over is showing you that through the serpent, through the body of the serpent, came the likenesses of mankind. Here you have man, and there you see woman. And through the body of the serpent, mankind came. So how did all of this happen? Well, people, it's describing it right here. It's showing you what they're telling you, that each one of these, there's crocodiles in here, there's lions in here, there's jaguars in here, and all of these creatures are in here. And it's showing you that through a sequence of genetic bridgings, the resulting image of man actually came through the assistance of and the contribution of that of the reptilian. So these images are here showing us that, but they have you believing that each one of these creatures represents a timetable in the day or a month or whatever they're describing, a calendar. It's showing you that through the sequence, through the precise genetic manipulation of this creature, or these creatures, mankind's image and likenesses emerged. Okay, now, I know that's hard for you to digest, but people, how in the world are these two serpents right here? And they can be found throughout all of our world's ancient history globally. The same exact thing. How can I take them and put them on Lord Pacal tomb lid? Right here. That same creature showed you that the cross is going through its body and it's cross-referenced. And it shows you what is being cross-referenced with. There's a bird there. They call these little deities on both sides. It's showing you what genetics were being created and what happened here. At what point Lord Pacal was bridged over. This is what this is all about. This is what this symbolic message is all about on Lord Pacal's tomb lid. This isn't about him flying into space. This is about who this man genetically was, became, and how he genetically altered himself. He contributed to the genetic alterings of his people. This is what this is about. This is what this record is referencing. Well, hold on now. Because I'm telling you that the cross references the cross-references of mankind's genetics with that of reptiles, specifically the serpent, which represents the snake. Not just the snake, but the evolutionary passage and history of the snake, of the serpent. You can't just take this creature and that likeness to snake. Don't think about it as just a squiggly snake, people. Think about the entire history of that creature from which it evolved. Those genes, people, that survived through eons of time is what is being described when you see the image of this creature in its snake-like body. And it's showing you that through that creature, a wheel of life. Look at this. Think of this as a wheel of life. How through this creature's and this chemistry, the image of man emerged. Now, here's the ancient Swedish monument, and lo and behold, people, look at what we have here, depicted on a stone. Ancient Swedish monument, a snake. Look how his tail is curled back over. Look here. And I'm telling you that that's a representation of everything that's being stated here, and these little curl back overs on these triangles here, showing you what's happening. And I can describe it too. All I have to do is just tell the experts what it means, and they can take it from there. But look at the cross. Look at this. The cross is telling you that this creature was cross-referenced. Now, look at in this creature's body, subdivided now, and all of these little symbols, letting you know how this creature genetically contributed to that and to that of mankind. Now, you're probably saying, well, where's my other likeness at? In the same, there's an image of Medusa. And those, if you Google those Swedish rocks there, here's another one though here. But if you Google, I wonder if I have that without going. If you Google this image, what I'm just describing, the Swedish monuments, an image of also of Medusa on rocks is there. I wonder if I have that here. Probably not. I don't have my whole file here for the sake of this video. I wish I did. Maybe I do. No, I do not. But I do have a video out, and in these same rocks, with these same monuments that were discovered, there's a bunch of snakes, and there's an image of a woman at the top with snakes all out of her head. Actually, the images of Medusa. So it's telling you that through a process and chemistry of our genes being introduced to this creature, that creature, Medusa, really did exist. And it's on the Swedish rocks as well. But I'm going to keep going. And it's also on these Dropa stones. Because if you turn these images, there's multi-dimensional images here and here of a woman's face. Okay? And it's the same thing that's on those Swedish rocks. If you Google the image ancient Swedish monuments or ancient Swedish rocks, you will see the same exact thing as I'm telling you. Oh, here you go. Here's the faces. If you look inside of here, there's multi-dimensional faces, and they appear everywhere here, which in all occurrences all day. All right, now let me see where I'm at here. Let me not get too far carried away here, because you don't have to go too far to realize basically what I'm saying, because I can make the connection, because through my paranormal experience and encounter, I not only can connect this to that, but my favorite is Nervi. Nervi Hall, named after the building's creator, Nervi, and the Fenzinni sculpture. And it's supposed to be of Jesus emerging from a nuclear explosion. Now, there was supposed to be no nuclear explosion in Jesus' time. Now this is the creation, the sculpture created by Fenzinni. Now, people, here we have a direct correlation with not just this. Now, I done already tied this to this. You have to see my video. I tied this to this already. And also to the Egyptian glyphs, which I'm going to show you in a minute as well, too. But let me show you something about this. This creature represents an ancient creature, and I tied it to the Egyptian glyphs and all, and I stated that this is Jesus' hair, blown hair, that this is a skull of an ancient creature. And I tied it to this creature here. And its ancestral link that this creature evolved from. Not just this creature, but every creature that genetically contributed to the becoming of this creature. And this is what I'm telling you that meant. And then this is actually the tree of life, which this cat is actually symbolically stating here. The tree of life, and the snake bridged over the tree of life. And there was a splicing. It shows you at what point a genetic splicing was actually taking place. Representing, you see this representing a knife. You see how this looks like a knife slicing. This leaf slicing, and a new bloodline was created. And then you have this alien-looking creature right here with the limb going through this eye, and then you have the horn being down here at the fork that's encrypted right there, which is also an image of the mother of creation, a witch-like woman with horns, and it shows you that her horns are piercing these limbs in the trees. All right, now. And there's also encryptions in the cat's face too. This is Egypt's glyph there, people. Now, let's go back to where we were at here, because I want to show you how all of this stuff is linking or interlinking one another. Look at this creature here, the skeletal head of this creature here. And now, let me bring it side by side with everyone's beloved Jesus. I don't know about everyone's, but check this out. Look there, and there's Fenzinni sculpture, and then look there. And then we have, well, where's the serpent, you probably saying, Jerome? Well, there's serpents there too, and there's also other creatures. But where are these creatures at, Jerome? Well, if you look, if you take the sculpture and turn it sideways, there's the eye of the serpent, there's the open mouth of the serpent, there's the nose of the serpent, and Jesus' body is shown emerging from that of that reptilian creature. This whole entire sculpture can be read, and I can tell you exactly what it's suggesting or stating. Now, oh, you can't see the snake there. Oh, hold on. Let me show you. I have a video out on that too. Let me show you what my highlights show you. There's the creature. You see that? And well, you're saying, well, Jerome, there's a woman. Where's the woman at? You see this woman right here, people? You see that witch-like woman? That the first face here, right here. You see that one? And then the other likeness. You see that one there? Again, people, her mouth, her bottom lip area, her cheekbone, her eye, and she's in the mouth of the serpent there. See that? See all of that on both sides of the Mind Stone? Now you can Google this and check for yourself. Now let's go to the Fenzinni sculpture. You don't see her there? Now, did I have that? I have another likeness of it. Oh, here it is, here. Here she is, here. Right there. And if you can notice that you see the snake, you see that arrow that's encrypted there? Showing you the genetics going there to that. Look, I even got her lipstick. Look. Her lips is actually like that. There's her chin, there's her nose, and I use whiteout to create her eye, and this is her forehead. Now, if that looks cartoonish to you, let's go with this, people. This is actually the horn. Her image in her own likeness is in her horn, which goes through the eye, which is the same thing that's in that Egyptian glyph over there of that guy that I showed you. This horn is going through an eye right there. You see that eye? Showing you a genetic trail. You see that right there? Now check this out. Now, this is her horn. Now, where's her other likeness? All down through here, people, this whole thing, the larger image, hold on, creates her likeness again. When Fenzinni created this sculpture, this whole thing, this is a forehead, her whole face is right here, and Fenzinni took pieces of the puzzle out to keep you from seeing what was here in reality. But the horn here cleverly shows you the face that is here. This entire thing creates a face. Now, that's why you see these little gargoyle creatures here. Look at this. You see that? See that little gargoyle creature right there? You see his body right there? And then if you look closely, you can see other faces and other mutations, which cause for the subsequent likenesses of that of Jesus and preserved bloodlines and manipulated bloodlines that these people have actually been doing all along. And that's why I can tell you that for sure, that the cross means the cross-referencing of mankind's genetics, and the Vatican is the main cross-referencing center of these genetics. Our world, our nations, are sequestered purposely to cross-contaminate, cross-reference, and create mankind's new genetics, if that sounds right, if I'm stating that right. And these people are the only ones that cross those lines. Well, them in royalty. because they use royalty as well too. But they cross those lines. Lines of war, lines of segregation, and lines of everything. All barrier lines, these people are mutual crossers of. And that's the reason why we have these problems that our world has today, people, with everything. Because they are true problem creators. Now, back to this. Now, she appears in everything because she is our mother of creation. I can link her to anything globally. She, in the image of the ape, or the image of man which evolved from that of ape. Wherever you see a reference of genetic manipulation, genetic bridging, creation of life, this woman must be there, along with the serpent and the image of man. And this is in everything. It's in Rembrandt's work, it's in Picasso's work. All of these artists, these famous artists, that you look at their bizarre work, it's in surrealist art, it's in everything, people. All of these bizarre artworks in the biblical sense and in everything. I don't care where you're at, in Chinese or Japanese, all over globally, it's telling us the same exact thing. How mankind emerged from these creatures. Now, I'm going to bring you to Egypt again with this. You see the bodies of the serpent, and it's showing us that how the serpent is intervened. You see these bridges, these pyramids, right there. Shows you different levels of genetic intervention and manipulation of these creatures. You see that? They're bridges coming to the inside. Let me show you where else you can see this at. In Egypt. In a roller sense and form. Right here. Again, you have the serpent. At its tail, you have ape, reptilian ape, that monkey. You see that monkey right there? You see its tail tied with the snake's tail, and you see this guy's green. You see that? It's telling you that this guy, in his earliest point, there was a reptilian ape in our evolutionary chain. Oh, hold on. You never heard that before except from me, of a reptilian ape. Well, there's the reptilian ape right there, people. See his cranial split right there? See his right eye socket, his left eye socket? See its right nostril, its left nostril? See right here that its mouth, over top of his mouth, where the bottom portion is missing, thanks to Fenzinni. There is a genetic linking chain. Let me bring that in closer. See the chain in the ape's mouth? Right there, you see the links of the chain? Shows you that there was a genetic link between our reptilian ape ancestor and that of our mankind likenesses of today. These records are global. These people knew about it. Now, oh, hold on, let me go back. The Mayan people. Think about it, people. These people explored our world, or commissioned those who explored our world. The likes of the conquistadors and and Christopher Columbus. What do you think that these people all found when they went to these locations? The informations that they found. What you see is being described and shown here. Oh, here's that bigger image here of that woman right here, people. Come down through here, her whole head. Look at how now they create. Now this is a horn, mind you. Check this out. And her own likeness is in her horn. But this entire thing creates a face right here of her likeness again. So this face here is here. And then also I can turn it upside down and give you other skull images, and her likeness is again here, which you can actually see there as well too. There's a nose, an eye, and I have that drawn out too, because these multidimensional images are genetic grails. Alright, so let me go back here again. These people know what this means, because they have to say, and they know what the Egyptian glyphs mean, because these people have an enjoyment of having their artists, which they oversaw also back in the Renaissance era through current, how they took and stole other knowledge and created their own ancient history and genetic manipulation and bridgings. It's in everything that represent these people. Everything. I can take artwork, glyphs from across the globe, and link them to artworks and sculptures that are in Rome. Now, let's go back to this. These pyramids, genetic interventions, they're showing you bridgings, just like here, at different levels, that this reptilian creature was bridged upon. And then it shows you an intervention at the tail for mankind and an intervention at the head. And all of this can be read if you look at it for what it truly is. Nothing made more to these people than evolving from the creatures that was previously before them. They were bridging off the creatures before them, just as which is happening now. A reptilian ape, I have it here again. I'm going to show you. I know I'm going to keep hammering it home on you. That reptilian ape is also here. Shows you how this guy at different levels was bridged, and it shows you the creatures that he was bridged with until finally this creature's genetics were bridged out, and it shows you that they become a vessel, and those vessels carrying those genetics, which subsequently calls for likenesses of man. It shows you that reptilian Egyptian so-called king or god or pharaoh, and then it shows you from his genetics how they were bridged out of him and subsequently bridged along here, and in his tomb here, you will see along his tomb's wall, you will see how these genetics subsequently traveled, became this guy, and how they exist today in the Egyptian people. That's what this is all about. We have people such as Zawi Hawass and others, Egyptian and so-called antiquity experts, that have misconstrued these facts based on modern or Western interventions, and also from that of British and all of that. They let these experts come in and read their glyphs to conform with lies, and then direct them on these paths of lies, that we now, the masses of people, are being deceived by what these messages actually say. Not just with that, but with this as well too. Even in China, even in Japan, while these people enjoy the truth and allow the masses of people to suffer in ways that are unimaginable. Again, we have the serpent. There's the tail of the serpent coming around. The serpent's mouth is open. There's his eye. There's his bottom. And the face of a witch-like woman. The mother of creation. Where do we get off? Where this creature, right there, that creature, that Mayan king, looking like a beast, and almost in the sense of almost like an ape in itself. How's a woman, the image of two, not one woman, but two women, two shown in both her different likenesses and her form, showing you. You don't hear no talk of no woman in the Mayan culture. Not like this on this glyphs. Have you ever heard this before? Before I came along? You have not heard of no woman, an image of a woman on Lord's to call tomb lid. It's in the same exact form. Bridged over. Look. At the head and at the tail. Mankind bridged over at the head and at the tail. It's showing you, hold on, the same thing. A woman, right there. Nobody told you before, except for me, Jerome Wright, that there is a woman there in the mouth of a serpent, and then there's a woman here in the mouth of the serpent. It's the same. It's showing you. It's the same woman, actually, people. It's showing you two genes, genetics, that are actually split over. And it's showing you that they cross-reference, and it's showing you that the creatures that they cross-reference with. It's the same exact thing here. Have you ever heard anybody tell you that there was a woman on the Mayan calendar before? No. A witch-like woman. But yet this woman can be found in everything I can recall her face in everything that of growing up, from the Wizard of Oz to Broomhilda cartoons, to everything. This likeness of this woman. Now, for those of you that find this impossible or hard to believe, it shows you where her passages are going here. Because if you look not just here, you see her face. You see this little, you see it from the reptilian's face here. There's this eye. You see that snake-like creature? You see this here is coming back over and turned back around. There's her face again. There's her cheekbone, her chin, her mouth, her nose, and her eye. On both sides. You know what it's showing you? How her genes were spliced and placed, in a sense, in these creatures, which calls for the subsequent resulting genetic presence or being of the Mayan people. That's what this is all about. Why do you think that they have this pyramid, their pyramid, with the two snakes coming down, and when the sun hits it right, you can see the waves in its body as the sun rises and lowers. You can see like if this creature is moving in a sense where it done evolved from a higher level from space. It shows its tail reaching up towards space and its mouth down towards Earth on both sides, because this creature evolved from space. And these people knew. They knew who they genetically were. They knew where they genetically came from. And they knew how to genetically alter themselves. And that's what their entire Mayan history is all about. Now, is there anything else that I want to talk about with this before I leave this alone? I wish that I can find this. I showed you, if you look at some of my videos, I can show you on this here. The same exact thing is shown here. Look at this, people. Globally, this is what's happening. Where's that reptilian? Oh, here it is. Here. Do I have that here? Because I want to. I like bringing things up that we've seen before. Now you see that? That and this are telling us the same thing as well too. The snake cross-reference. Same thing here. And I love this one because this is identical to what ancient alien theorists has told you was an Egyptian light bulb. Because this is the snake. And they want you to believe that that's a filament in a light bulb. There's the flower of life, where it shows you its root going back to the founding stones of that of mankind, which I know which are too. And it shows you a sequence of bridgings. And that's what this is all meaning. If this was a light, A filament. Why would there be a likeness of mankind there? Or the snake? Or a flower? Why would a flower be hooked to a light? That ain't no light filament. That's nothing looking like nothing mechanical. That's a flower with a stem, showing you that the tree of life, the flower from the tree of life, is bridged over, and it's showing you through which process the creatures are bridged over, and this is identical to it, to the same exact thing. And if the founding stone at the end there is the monkey, so what do you think that this is stating? Ape, and the creature that the ape evolved from, which I know what that creature is as well too. You have been lied to. Well, I ain't gonna say you've been lied to. Well, you've been lied to by certain people, but the people from which these cultures, these informations are actually coming from, they actually, I don't know how in the world any person can arrive at something from space when all of the information which references us right here in this world are right there. And what happened? I can lead scientists on the path to show them from each level that is telling us that this creature was intervened with creatures that exist domestically with us today, or evolved from those of ancient yesterday that exist with us domestically today. We need to look at this stuff for what it truthfully is. The genetic grail to who we are. I don't want to bring that Medusa. I don't know what in the world. I'm going to look and see if I see that right quick. I couldn't find it. I thought I was going to grab it up right quick. But anyway, I'm going to end this video there. But anyway, Google the Swedish rocks or monuments, and you will see that of these images that I showed you. I have it somewhere also here in my videos as well too. But you'll see a bunch of snakes coiled over each other, and you'll see the image of Medusa right there on the top with a bunch of snakes coming out of her head, which are stating the same exact thing, that through that creature, the likenesses of mankind, womankind, actually evolved. And that's what it's actually telling you. I wish I could actually find it, because I got a few minutes here, and I want to get that, but I guess I can't. But anyway, I'm going to let this video go with that. I'm going to end this video. Today is Sunday. I got other things I got to get done. So, I'm telling you people that this so-called Mayan calendar is telling you how through the body of the serpent came man. The same thing that the Vatican and their Nervi Hall sculpture is telling you. Through the body of the serpent came man. No different than this message right here. And Google Nervi Hall, and all I did was give that serpent its eye. Let me bring that in closer, because I love this finding of mine. You see all of those lines that create the reptilian lips of that snake, of that creature? All of that is there. All I did was just highlight. You can Google this image and turn it sideways and do the same exact thing that I did. And look, I just gave whites to the teeth. All of this is already there. I didn't add anything, people. It's all there. All I did was just highlight. Enhance the lines that are already there. And the body of Jesus emerging from. So what is that telling you? The same thing that the Egyptian is telling you. There's the head of the serpent and the tail of the serpent. It's the same thing as what the Egyptians is telling you. That at the head of the serpent there was a cross-referencing. In between there was cross-referencing. And at the tail. No different than here, than what the Vatican is telling you. In a more clever way. So-called Jesus emerging from this nuclear explosion. Oh, here's my unedited image of that snake tooth, by the way, people. You can see that. This is unedited. When you Google this image, this is what you will see. Right here. Alright? I just actually enhanced it. All I did was, you see that? See the teeth there? Look, all I did was just put whites. Took my coloring pencils. You can even actually see the eye of the snake right there. Look. All I did was just enhance it. Just put color. Just added the color to separate the lines. Look at that. Look at the mouth of the snake, people. You see that? The reptilian-like. How the snake's mouth is. The reptilian, you know how the snake's mouth is, right? Okay. Well, all I did, look, was just accent the lines. So they're telling you that at the head and at the tail of the snake and everything in between was cross-referenced with this creature. Our Egyptians was telling us the same exact thing. At the tail and at the head and in between, there was periodic bridgings with this creature. And it shows you a reference. Look at this. Look at these almost like these shepherd crocs. These turned back in, and look, and it shows you bridgings. Look at these lines, people. How these bridgings are occurring. Why in the hell would they have a snake there? These lines tied in on this snake's body at different levels. Look, the monkey's tail tied to the snake. Look, this shepherd's like croc turned back in, showing you that these genes was being directed, being guided like a shepherd would do, and showing you from which direction that they're going. And look, and then it's telling you which creatures were affected. Or either contributed to the process. Who cannot see this? Who could not see this, people? Look, and it's telling us the same exact thing here. What I just showed you, you can take this and look and make this the same exact message that is here is being stated here. At which levels the same exact thing occurred, and it's telling you what was the resulting mutations, what was the results. There's a record of it. An Egyptian light bulb. How in the hell can you get a light bulb to work from a flower? And these humans here, look, look, nothing to do with a light bulb at all. Flower tied into the founding stone. This is the same exact thing as this. The same exact message. How this creature bridged over that with mankind, it subsequently calls for mutations, bloodlines, genes that calls for different likenesses of our kind. The Mayan people, the Egyptian people. The Egyptian people the Egyptian people, these so-called Egyptian gods, tells you each and every one that their bloodline was carrying. The same thing with the Roman people. The same thing with the African people, the same thing with the Chinese people, the same thing with the Japan people. It shows you how you genetically evolved from the serpent, the reptilian, the ape, and how your genes were subsequently manipulated and altered. And now these people are cleverly controlling the entire masses of the world's population with their bullshit. That's what this is about. And under the guise of Christianity and then under the guise of religion, you're being genetically altered and sacrificed in the way that this person was. And that's what his story was all about, along with all of his other colleagues and followers and all of this is what this is all about. Genetic manipulation is the end result. I can tie our entire world's ancient history to the same exact source and origins from which they evolved. I see something too, by the way. Huh. You know what? I see something. I'm going to end this video here because I can see something else. Alright, I'm going to end this video here. I hope you enjoyed this video. And people, I'm a layperson when it comes to this. I'm not a scientist. Again, I'm not the best suited person or the narrator for bringing this to you. But I can tell you right now that it doesn't take much common sense to realize of what I found is the genetic holy grail to everything. It doesn't take much sense to realize that. And the reason why this is making so much sense to you people is because you know why? This is something that you knew all along. It is instinctively in you. You are a part of all of this. And once you start identifying with the creatures that are being referenced here and opening up your mind and thought to the reality of this all being true, then there will become an awakening in your mind, mentally, and then subsequently physically, and you will start to relate to what's happening here and what's happening around you, because this is you. This is all you. It's like finding out who your true mother and father is after believing all your life that the ones that raised you are not them. It's like awakening. It's like walking from out of the dark into the light. You can see the truth in what is happening, people. There's much more to this than you can possibly ever imagine, and there's no ending to it. It just keeps going and going and going and going and going. And this is our evolution. We evolved from space. There's a journey that I can take you from space here to our world. I can show you things that, I mean, look at my videos, people. Just look at my videos, and everything is linked. I'm just all over the place with it because it's just so much to comprehend, and I'm just taking seemingly the best parts of it and bringing it to you. But imagine everything that is in between. There's no break in this. It's all interlinking. I'm breaking it up to bring it to you, to try to bring you the best parts, or what I think is the best part, or the significant part, just to get you to awaken, to get me famous with this, so I can go out and we can understand this through the world, not just through no YouTube video, but through the world and through a team of experts. This is where I want to go with this. This is me for the rest of my life, because after discovering this, I don't want nothing else. All I want to do is this. That's it. My name is Jerome Mike. You're watching my YouTube Dronification channel, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, I ask that this is coming to you for free of charge. So just please, people, share my information and my videos with other people. Thank you.